It's been a few weeks since we've gotten a new Chris letter, and Chris is back, and he's pretty pissed. We're just gonna get right into it, and you can see that just from the jump, Chris is he sounds a little different. Yo, yo, Kenneth Urban Englehart. Like, I haven't heard Chris start one of these letters or anything really with yo, so that's it's your first sign that Chris has taken this a bit more seriously. Firstly, I have just received your letter. A Sonichu rebirth and makeover. I am only going to say this one time. Hell no. Lightning bolt exclamation points all over the place. So, I don't know what a Sonichu rebirth and makeover is, but if I were to take a guess, I'd guess it's somebody's, like, fan fiction. And based off of how the rest of this letter goes, someone's picking off Sonichus left and right. Apparently, like, shit is going down in Quickville. And Chris is a little bit peeved about this, and he's about to tell you what's really going on in the city of Quickville. Also, your Sonichen and Rosechen are distant alternative timeline and universe. They have never ever existed in this timeline set of universes here, including 1218, C197, and the whole 1C-211987. So ditch that idea of yours to the curb at present. So Chris is not down with Sonichen and Rosechen, whoever they may be, and I don't really know what's going on there. It's just Chris explaining all the different timelines. As for the books and continuations, I, the body of Jesus Christine Weston Chandler Sonichu, the goddess Blueheart, Avatar, and Lord. That name, as I said, it gets longer, then he condenses it more to just like Jesus Christian, and now it's back up to like 9 different words. As well as my soul partner, Jesus Christine herself. What? So there's 2 Christians now, that's good to know, who is presently out and working on the greater and ultimate duties, responsibilities, and matters already have plans to go into full effect post-collective shift and after I am released and return home to the Sonichu Temple. Also, aside from the obvious reasons why we have directly, officially, and personally declared verbally and in writing that all Sonichu and Rosechu and Quickville stories not manifested from our one perspective and experiences, as well as those of the Sonichus, Rosechus, Pokemon Super. Here we go again. It's another list. This is every couple letters we get a good list, so Chris can brush up his memory on all the things he's missing out on in jail. Pokemon, superheroes, gods and goddesses, and even the Sonic the Hedgehog and the Super Mario Brothers and the Optimus Prime, along with everyone else of Universe C197. Dear God. Not canon at all with this timeline and its set and collective of universes and of the entire multiverse. So, if you can't tell, what Chris is doing there is, he's in jail. He should be thinking about, like, what he did to Barb and how he can better himself, but no. Somebody clearly sent Chris a fucking Sonichu comic they wrote, and Chris is not having it. Too many of you all do not comprehend or are as authentically enlightened and linked and bonded as Christine and I are. So, like, you guys gotta remember, if you're one of these people writing these weird knockoff Sonichu comics, you could never be as, like, enlightened as Chris is when he writes his. So that's why you need to stop. Another obvious reason is the constant needless gore and deaths amongst the worst of the fan fiction writings. Well, there's your answer on if it was a fan fiction or not. That we and everyone else have had to moderate. Is that moderate? Yeah. Heavily encounter from within C1987 itself. Stressed and tired is putting it lightly. So, I mean, shit. Well, what can you say there? It's obvious that he's just trying to find any reason to why he doesn't like these new things. The gore and deaths amongst the worst. It's kind of funny coming from Chris, who's claiming the world's going to end and everyone he doesn't like is going to go down with it. But I digress. It's Chris. We shouldn't be trying to make sense out of this anyway. Let's move on. But there are those among you who are actually linked, enlightened, and all, such as Tricky, who wrote Rosechu's story, works like hers in quality, but Sonichu and Rosie have the spikes on their backs, and heartfelt compassion is among the best examples. So it goes back to the classic Chris shit, you know? If you don't have nothing nice to say, don't say it at all. If you're not about to kiss my ass and draw Sonichu, Rose2, and myself as immortal, perfect beings, don't write it at all. If you wanna draw Sonichu and Rose2 dying, fuck out of here. No, that can't be happening. So that's what Chris's real focus is on right now, and that's pretty clear. Let's move on to the next page. But you should all insist. Fortunately, collaborations are in the future plans personally, but we shall choose personally from those who try, the best of which and so forth. I offer guidelines. I almost just had a stroke reading that. Absolutely no rebirth, makeover, reboot, nor anything else of the sort. So Chris doesn't want you doing anything to Quickville. Like, it's been basically said before, especially when it came to the idea guys, that Chris sees this world as like genuine. He really thinks this is a real place, and he feels like anybody or any outside influences who come into it and even try to tweak it just a little bit is like mind-breaking to him. But that's Chris's first big rule, and I assume we're gonna get more because it just hit me that we have a second list on this letter, ladies and gentlemen. We're not even 3 pages in of this like 7-page letter. Let's go to the next one. Continuations and detail expansions only. That sounds like he's putting it like a DLC pack, but he's said stuff like that before. He thinks of everything like video games, but it could be something completely different. The demographic focus group shall be between TVY7 and TV14. What? If you would not allow anyone under 14 years old to read or view it, then it does not work. Chris takes the fucking TV ratings way too literally. Like, the best way to put it is I've seen a lot of TV14 shows before that if I had a kid who was like 13, 14, I'd be like, bullshit, you're not watching that. So it's weird. No swearing or potty languages, no gore, mild blood amounts okay, no deaths. Chris writes out the word etc. based on the TV and ESRB rating guidelines. As I said, he takes that way too seriously. However, something that really sticks out to me is what would make this TV14 if there's no swearing, no gore, no deaths, a little bit of mild blood? Pretty sure like you can have that in The Simpsons. So TV PG? I don't know. Once again, thinking too much into this, but why would it be TV14 if there's none of that? I guess because it has none of... So it just hit me. Chris's show will have no swearing, no gore, no deaths, but it may have a little bit of violence and probably a lot of sex, so that's why it gets the TV14 rating. C197 is an entire universe with multiple planets and so forth. It is not simply just the state of Virginia or just the city of Quickville or the nation of Quickville that it is part of. What happened to the nation of Comma and all that? Moving on. Of all individuals who presently live, exist, and coexist, you name them. They live on the Earth or any other planet throughout the universe. On that, there is no Mobius planet. What? Sonic, Sally, oh my god, he's doing it again. We have another list. Christopher Thorn, I'm not saying that. Angel Island, and so forth. All residents on Earth, the original individuals to expand further, ... Next page. GAM Industry, I think he means to write Game Industry, is an island off east from Canada and west of the United Kingdom. So Greenland? Like Chris basically just said, fuck Greenland, that's Game Industry now. Neptune, Uzume, Vert, and the others exist on C197's Earth. Cybertron is there as well in another part of the universe, so you have the constantly upgrading and living. G1-original Autobots and Decepticons, so only I guess that version. So yes, Optimus Prime works with Autobot Sancho and his team at times. Oh, thank God, I was worrying. The Mushroom Kingdom is also on Earth, of course it is. Goku and his friends live in Japan. I mean, shit. So yeah, Goku and his friends live in Japan, there alongside Kuzio Saki, Hurry Susan, don't eat. I'm not doing this. I'm not doing this because I'm just going to butcher all the names. Yada, 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 and so forth. The Sailor Senshi, Power Rangers, certain kaiju, and soon Powerpuff Girls. He is really just going on a tear with these lists on this in this particular letter. I really, like I said, I think it's so he can just brush up and not forget about these characters. The Powerpuff Girls, Dexter and Dee Dee, Johnny Bravo, Sunset Shimmer and her Equestria Girls group in Maryland. Maryland. The Equestria Girls are loving their crab cakes. Portals to Equestria and whatnot. Homer Simpson, Peter Griffin, Stan Smith, Gumball Watterson, Princess Star Butterfly, the Smurfs. The Smurfs are going too. Oh, no, wait, they're in Spain. Shit, false alarm. Both sets of Ghostbusters, so the male and female or the young and old? You gotta specify on that one, Chris. The Avengers, the Justice League, what does that say? Saitama? Is that One Punch Man? Danny Phantom, Jimmy Neutron, Timmy Turner, Planet Dolan just off of Saturn with Danger Dolan, and his group, Rick, Rick and Morty, the G.I. Joes, and so on. Well, I'm surprised he ended it there because there were still so many names I'm pretty sure he could have thrown in, but I'm happy to see Chris kind of giving himself a little restraint. Like, you know what, I got to stop here. Also, here we go again, god damn it. Gobotron used to be an existent planet, but the Guardians and Renegades had relocated and joined the Autobots and Decepticons. There's also, god damn it, he really... Ratchet and Clank, Sly Cooper, Fox McCloud, Jak and Daxter. What a series that was, by the way. God, I want to go play some Jak and Daxter right now. Captain Kirk and the Enterprise. So he's a Kirk guy, not a Picard guy. The Jedi and all. Harry Potter, and so on. This is the second and so on in the same page. The second and so on within like 6 fucking lines of each other. Because I'm tired of listing. Bullshit. But you name them. They're there. So take all that into account if you want to include the SNT or whoever as visitors to Quickville, or having one of our main Sonichus, Rosechus, or I visit here, there, or wherever and return home safe. Also, since the entire Sonichu and Rosechu species has chaos energy within them, including me, don't forget Chris. Like, no matter what the topic is, ladies and gentlemen, never forget that Chris is the main character involved in it. And all half-human / half-Sonichus or Rosechus, we all can breathe and do in space like Sonic can? I don't know if that's Sonic Con or Sonic can, but I'm going to assume Sonic can breathe in space. So if you were ever wondering, once again, Chris can indeed breathe in space. We're getting, it looks like, another list, so let's go and see what he said. Also, if, and if is underlined, you want to try to chronicle the Dimension Merge, know the Holy Bible and all other religious texts, premonitions first. On that, read of the new earth in Revelations. That is literally C197's earth. So it's just Chris going back to, seeing a word in the Bible and him being like, yo, that's a word in something I say a lot. They said earth, that must be talking about my earth. They said something about resurrection, that's me getting out of jail. And then they talk about Judgment Day, well, that's the day all my trolls get their comeuppance. So, that's what Chris sees when he looks in these religious texts. The collective shift involves literally instantly teleporting the majority who are good or neutral from this earth here in Universe 1218, including myself. Once again, remember, Chris is always number one. Come on, don't forget it. To that earth, there in Universe C197, complete, alive, and with their clothes on now. Just to make, Chris ain't trying to see no ducks. Like, don't get it fucked up. You will survive the merge, but if you got your duck out, you're going right back. as well as select buildings, landmarks, artifacts, statues, and possessions. That was a little list right there. Including the Sonichu Temple. Of course it is. Of course. Just make sure. Chris's house is one of those things. And its entire yard, property, and all possessions. Oh, him saying that makes me think something. Hold up. So yeah, all possessions and whatnot within there, as well as everything my hands and Christine Insole has directly, personally manifested and touched physically. Absolutely nothing or nobody teleported or shifted dies nor gets destroyed. Period. And with only the toxic minority and the unchosen left behind. So that's a new one too, the unchosen. So I don't know what that means. That just might be people Chris is like so on, so they get to stay behind too. Behind on 1218 Earth, here they all see two suns burned to ashes, their souls evaporated out of existence. So what I wanted to say with Chris, like kind of saying there, yo, everything in my house will be good, is because I had the theory a couple months back that when these letters started coming out, that trolls were going to start writing to Chris and telling him all this crazy shit. And just me seeing him say that makes me think that, yeah, people are writing to him telling him that, yo, all your shit's gone and there's nothing you can do about it. Now, no one knows if that's true or not, because there has been a little bit of like, there are some people who go to Chris's house, and which you should never do, and they took pictures of like out front, and you can see kind of in the house, and it looks like it's much more cleared out. So like I said, I assume people are just trying to fuck with Chris here, and you know, he uses this as his coping mechanism to try to get back at the trolls. And if people are telling him that, he might be saying this to be like, yo, I don't even care if they do take my stuff. It don't matter. The second this merge happens, all my stuff's back with me and none of it's destroyed. Period. So that's just speculation on my part. But you know, there has been rumors before that, you know, Barbara is probably not in the best state. So if they do repossess that house, all Chris's shit's going to be gone anyway. I don't know, though. Let's just move on. There's absolutely no literal physical combining nor collisions of any planets. And after Judgment Day, the former Universe 1218 shall become an empty mass of space with nothing but scattered pebbles in it. So that's where all the haters and fakes get to stay, in this pebble-ridden planet of 1218 or whatever the fuck. So if you want to chronicle anything of the Universe C197 post-collective shift, make positive you've not ever write anyone or anything, including yourself, dead or destroyed. This is genuinely serious. So once again, this goes back to, hey, don't draw my Sonichus or you're gonna be on that pebble planet. I'm tired. That's all for now. What's that? Porky Pig? That's all, folks. However, that is not all, because Chris keeps going. One last thing I'm allowed to mention. Some of you may have heard Christine and I personally updated. Okay. First off, this is confusing because I don't know who Chris thinks is writing this. Like I said earlier, it's not Sonichu. So I think it's, I think this is the second Chris now, because Chris is saying, like, there's two of him, a soul Chris, and then, like, an actual Chris who's in jail right now. It's really confusing, but as you may have heard, I don't know how we would have heard it, Chris updated 6 out of the 10 of the original commandments. So those, like, 10 commandments videos I made the other week, that's all null and void apparently now, because they're completely switched up. We have also added 11 new oh, god damn it. 11 new commandments to be publicly shared in due time. I am allowed today to make public one of the new commandments, and I quote, Commandment number 15. Thou shalt not comment online or offline in hatred, spite, falseness, or without any words of criticism that are intentionally genuine, meant to be supportive for actual improvements. You know, wasn't the 10 Commandments made to, like, help people out, like, to make people, like, do good to each other, while Chris's commandments are literally specifically things that, like, relate back to him? This also entails email, text, direct messages, snail mail, haven't heard that one in a while, etc. I hate how he writes that out. To anyone, period. Do not spam messages to anyone either. Just imagine that being one of the commandments. Like, thou shalt not, what is it? Thou shalt not bear false witness. Thou shalt not commit adultery. Thou shalt not comment online or offline in hatred, spite, whatever. But that's one of the new 21 commandments, so be prepared. And one last thing, a couple of shout-outs. My friend of Prater and Wildcat, I and Christine have been wanting you both and our closer friends to have written to us in jail. Please include phone numbers so we may call you. Pretenders shall not be accepted nor welcomed. Thank you, sincerely, Miss Jesus Christine Weston Chandler Sonichu. Wow. So first off, if you're a member of that weird little group that Chris liked, I'm not going to give him any advice, but to everybody listening, don't send your phone number or anything to Chris. Don't even write him a letter, guys. We've said this a million times. It'll be said a million more. But what a wacky letter again. Like, this one was filled, I think, mostly with just Chris listing off things that he misses. Like, he's trying to bring Sonic and the Autobots and everything into his world, but it's really just he's so, like, out of touch with everything now. You know, I would say he sounds like he just wants to find someone that he can talk video games with, talk cartoons with, you know, shoot the shit. But he's not. It's always about this Jesus shit. And remember, at the end of the day, Chris doesn't care. That's why he's never asked these people, hey, maybe write me back with a list of all your favorite things. Because it doesn't matter to Chris. What matters is that people hear him. And, like, I guess that's just that God complex. This letter, though, is pretty weird. You can tell that it's just mainly based on Chris being mad that people are writing fan fictions and killing off the Sonichus again. And, I feel like this is a bad idea because now people are just going to do it 10 times more. And that's just the one thing Chris has never been able to smarten up on. I don't even know if it's possible that he can, but when you make it obvious that these things bother you, people are just going to do it now specifically to piss Chris off, when maybe in the first place, Kengel or whoever wrote this fan fiction did it to try to be funny or to try to impress Chris. I don't know. I don't necessarily care. All I know is Chris really still cares about people drawing his Sonichu stuff, and that's that. So what really matters now to Chris is getting out of jail, becoming the all-powerful ruler of the next dimension or whatever the fuck, and making sure nobody fucks with the Sonichus. So, other than that, we got about maybe a week or two before Chris's next hearing, and I'll make a video on that in the next couple of days, but we're getting there. So Chris could be out of jail pretty soon, or we could find out that he's staying there a lot longer. Other than that, this has been like the really only update we've gotten recently. And I'm not just going to pull Chris videos out of my ass. That's no fun. But when there's an update, I'll be sure to update you guys on it. So when I see you, I see you. And I hope you guys all have a great rest of your day. Spark one up for me. And just have a nice rest of your day, guys.